Now, inside Compass Navigator, which again is where you build your projects, you have two types of projects. There's the module-based project. You will learn how to do that in the C1 programming, so the C1 Plus portion of our training. In the modular-based project, it's predefined modules. They're drag and dropped into the program, and you're going to build a zone connectivity tree, which will then insert the correct switching commands, for example, on to the buttons you press as you press them. Automatic button mapping of all of the commands as well, and all this really cool stuff that makes these projects super, super simple and very, very customizable at the same time. We'll get into that. Also at Compass Navigator, when you start a new system, there is a custom project. This is for the folks that continue through to the C3 Pro training certification level, where your iOS and Android devices are a blank palette. You can actually drop modules into the program, as we'll show you in one of our in one of the C1 videos where we have the custom GUI teasers. But you can actually add smart devices, handheld remotes as well, because we, although we no longer currently sell our handheld remote, we did at one point in time have that. So of course that's supported across both of these project types. So looking a little more at a module, what is a module? Well, a module is not just a library of commands or a code set, okay? It is a code set that has a graphical package. Of course, all of those buttons that you see have the correct commands automatically mapped onto that. If you have a bidirectional module like a lighting feedback and thermostat feedback and metadata from an audio streamer, then of course there's a bidirectional driver that is automatically compiled and attached to the various graphical elements. So because of that, the modules, we have to limit what you can and cannot manipulate with modules, but you can manipulate modules. You would have to edit those modules themselves, not in the project, but the modules themselves, which we'll get into in the C1 Programming Plus portion of these videos. You're also able to edit your device selection macros and the main page and status page is what they're called. So you can actually place custom graphics on this thing and everything. There's a good amount of customization that makes this actually the most commonly handed over interface for Compass Control are the ones done using the modular program. So it's very important because when we build these modules, we're not just building them here at Key Digital for just iPad or just iPhone. We actually develop our modules with all of the screen sizes in mind. So that includes the iPads all the way up to the iPad Pro size, the phone, iPhone 6 and 6 Plus are the current large models, for example. And now the Android screens, which are all sorts of different sizes and aspect ratios, right? So what we did was we added a few different tablet size for Android, a few different phone sizes for Android, and we added a brand new feature to Compass Control that works whether it's iOS or Android. That new feature is the auto scaling of, so say you program an iPad interface, you could actually load that into an iPhone, and of course it's just going to maintain the same orientation. That'd be landscape to landscape, for example, and it's going to auto scale that down and save our C3 programming pros a lot of time in their interface building, where you used to have to manually do that one by one if it for each and every screen if that were a custom project. And that's why we do this up front in the modules, because your customer is going to love the system on an iPad, and then they're going to tell you, hey, we went out and bought a new iPhone, can you add that to the system? And if you're using a modular system, all you need to do is add that iPhone in the project, and it's already going to have all of the information, all of the pages built. And you're going to be able to just load it up to that iOS device or Android device.